Hello, my name is Michael Donato, and I'm the owner and founder of Purveyor.com. I was introduced to custom knives by Richard Matei. Richard was collecting custom knives for, the better part of 15, 20 years when he and I first met. And he really collected everything from Japanese netsuke to handmade knives to Japanese swords and artwork. I had no idea that there was a complete another world of custom knives out there. There were 3 magazines published on a regular basis. It was Blade Magazine, Knives Illustrated, and The Cutting Edge were the 3 at the time. As I learned more about custom knives, I found out there were knife shows literally all over the world, from Japan to Italy, New York, California, Las Vegas. And the thing that interested me the most about custom knives was the artistry. I loved how each knife maker had used the steel as their own canvas and created what we know is the oldest tool known to man and developed on such a high level of craftsmanship. I founded a small little company where I was helping people buy things, and I was a purchasing agent. And a client had said, I'd like to have a Ron Lake knife. And I did a little bit of research, and it turned out that Ron Lake was a very desirable, very expensive knife maker. And he was going to be coming to the New York Custom Knife Show, or the East Coast Custom Knife Show. And I made it a point to attend. And I went to the show, and Ron Lake was there, of course, and he had one knife available for sale. And I said, is this knife available? He said, yes. And in 2000, that knife was $3,500. It was a South Sea gold lip pearl interframe tail lock with a little gold bail. And he kind of smiled at me and he laughed and he said, well, most of the people in this room would like to buy it, but I only have one. And he pulls out a deck of cards, bicycle deck of cards, and he says, please pick a card and rip it in half and give me half and keep the other half. And at 3 o'clock, come back to my table, don't be late, because we're going to give a little drawing. Whoever's card gets picked will have the right to buy the knife. So it was around 11 in the morning, and I had a lot of time to kill, so I walked around the show, and I was blown away by how many knife makers there were and the difference between each knife, their craftsmanship, the materials, their designs. I had just come back from backpacking to Europe and Africa, and I had visited the Louvre, the Prada, the Casa de Greco, the Rijksmuseum. I fell in love with the arts, and when I found out about the knife world, I was walking through a gallery at that show, getting to meet each individual artist. And that was my introduction to knives. So I was like shocked. I was like, okay, so the demand is so great that he's actually auctioning off or raffling off the ability to buy the knife. So I walk around the show and I start meeting people like Buster Warinsky, Joe Caius, Warren Osborne, Scott Sauby, And I was blown away by wow, each one of these is one of a kind. Like this knife right here. This was made by Stan Fujisaka. Stan taught Ken Onion how to make knives. So looking at this knife, just the mother of pearl, the titanium bolster that's been anodized and engraved. Look at the presentation grade of the mother of pearl, just how unique the design of the knife is, the opalescence and the fire of the pearl. So it's little tidbits of quality and craftsmanship like this that really piqued my interest in the knife world, because I loved watches and I loved art, and this was a really marriage of just craftsmanship, uniqueness of materials and design. And what really got me was it's American made and handmade. Well, my number one goal is to promote custom knives and introduce it to the people who would appreciate it. So few people in the world know that custom knives exists. So, long story short, my job is to share this amazing industry with people who would appreciate it. If you collect art, if you collect watches, pens, jewelry, cars, you have an appreciation for unique, one-of-a-kind items and American made, then the custom knife world is specifically for you. I'm Michael Donato, and thank you for visiting knifepurveyor.com or for coming to the shop, Knife Purveyor. What you will see here at the website or visiting the shop will be a collection of a lot of great things, not just custom unique knives. There's a lot of art here, there's scrimshaw, it's an artistry place for sure. So my goal here with you coming is to enjoy the experience of collecting whatever it may be, but the finest quality of what we can offer. And thank you. Thank you for visiting and for coming to the site or shop.